Welcome to week 4 of your Inner Matrix group. Glad to have you back. You're on the final stretch, nearing the end of your journey here as we move through this aspect of training with you. Week 4, we're really going to start focusing on a vision for your life. And how do we incorporate now the mind, emotions, and the physicality as it pertains to vision? And so when you hear vision, your mind most likely goes to maybe creating a vision board or creating a list of goals and benchmarks that you'd like to accomplish. Maybe you start thinking about New Year's resolutions. For me, that's not vision. Vision is not goals and benchmarks. It's not the things that we're going to do. It's not necessarily even creating a vision board of the things that we want to experience. For me, vision starts from the inside out. It's the fulfillment of life that we choose to access or experience. And so think of vision from, rather than the outside in, think of vision from the inside out. And so many people, as they move through life, they try to live life backwards, the way that I think about it. Meaning they think that if they, have the white picket fence and they have enough money, and they, have all the things they want, house and car and all those things, that it's going to make them feel good. It's going to make them be happy. Then they're going to be fulfilled. They're going to be at peace. And although it's great to, choose to have a family or travel or have a beautiful house and cars and all of those things, it's important to make that distinction that those things do not equate to fulfillment. And we have to bring ourselves to the things that occur in life in order to really know the experience of life that's important to us. And one of my past clients, I lived in LA for about 10 years in West LA. And I had a client that I would see in person out of their home in Bel Air, California. And when I first started working with this person, I had just moved there actually from Wichita, Kansas, and that's where I grew up. And so I had no concept that places like this even existed at that time. And I remember the first time I went to see my client in their like $80 million estate. I mean, this huge estate up there in Bel Air. And if you've seen movies or you've driven through there, you know how nice it is. And I remember when I went there for the first time and worked with my client, I remember pulling up to the gate and pushing the doorbell, and this voice comes through the speaker and asks me who I am, and I give them my name, and I had an appointment there. And so then they open this gate, and it opens like a drawbridge. I didn't even see the house from the road, and I go up this like quarter-mile driveway, and I see this huge mansion. I mean, it's literally this 3-story house, and it's got to be a half a block long, and they just happen to have their garage doors open. And I was driving by their garages, and I saw a Lamborghini and a Porsche and a Bentley and all these very, very high-end cars, and there was somebody out there taking care of them. I remember knocking on the door, and a butler answered, the person who takes care of the home, and they asked me if I wanted anything to drink and said, please sit here, so and so will be with you soon. And I was in shock. I was actually terrified, because I'm thinking to myself, these people have everything. And I saw the picture, right? They had a picture on their fireplace mantle of them with the president at the time. And that was a close family friend. And I'm thinking to myself, what could I possibly do for these guys? I know I'm pretty decent at teaching meditation and coaching transformational work, but they pretty much have it figured out. And they had this beautiful home, beautiful pictures of the family and the kids, and it seemed like they had everything. And I'll never forget, I met my client for the first time, and she walked me into a library. It was actually a library of books, this huge library. And we sat down, and she closed the doors behind her. She sat down at the coffee table on the other end of the room, on the opposite side of the coffee table there. And she sat down, looked like she had it all well put together, and she just burst into uncontrollable tears. She was completely miserable, even I would say tortured inside. And in that moment, I immediately got why I was there. And I knew I could make a difference. I knew I could, train this individual into being able to enjoy this abundance that they knew. And so just because we have everything in life, it doesn't mean that we're going to feel great. And it is so easy to sort of get seduced by that idea that all I need is a little more money, or all I need is that promotion or a better job, or I need to find the significant other that's going to make me happy. And trying to manage the external pieces of the checkerboard to induce an internal state of happiness and fulfillment, passion for life, etc. And it just fundamentally doesn't work. And so, I was so grateful for that lesson early on in my career and when I started working with people, because it just dialed it in for me that it wasn't about those things. And the importance of really developing ourselves internally, doing the proper internal training in order to know fulfillment in life. And so as we create vision, we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to create vision from the inside out. First, ask yourself, if you were 10 years or 20 years from now, and you had everything that you could imagine, right? You had the amount of money you wanted, you had that special person in your life, you had the family that you may or may not want, you had the level of success in your career. Let's say all of those things have happened. You're vital in your body, optimal health and well-being is there. You're able to travel and take the vacations and the trips and the adventures that you want to take. Let's pretend for a moment that it's all already happening. Ask yourself, how would you feel? What would be the inner experience of knowing that reality as your life? Would you be happy? Would you be inspired? Would you know passion in your life? Would you feel an abundance of love? Would you wake up joyful? What would the internal experience be that you would know day in and day out as a result of manifesting those external things? Because anything that we're trying to attain externally, we're actually looking to attain it for what it's going to give us inside. And so let's start there first. How would you feel? And name 1, 2, or 3 things that you would experience as a result of fulfilling your vision. As I say, vision fulfilled. And then after you name those ways that you would feel, I'd be joyful, I'd be passionate, I'd be inspired, I would know an abundance of life. I guess that's 4, you can have an extra. And then go ahead and ask yourself, what are the things I would then do? What experiences would I have? And don't go first to the vacations or the fancy sports cars or things like that, but go, hey, what am I going to be doing today? Or what am I doing tomorrow? And what would it be like if I took the experience of joy into that place in my life? So if I went to work tomorrow and did what I'm going to do already, but instead of doing it inside of maybe anxiety, I'm going to bring joy to that. Right? And so I'm going to know the experience of joy through work. I'm going to know the experience of love through my relationship. I'm going to know the experience of inspiration with my body, right? And so start with the things you know that you're going to be up to. Maybe it's family reunions or trips, the things you're already doing. And just imagine it as though, hey, I'm feeling this way, and then I'm doing these things. I'm feeling this way. I'm feeling joyful. I'm feeling loving. I'm feeling at peace. And I'm mountain biking, I'm going to work, I'm driving the kids to school. And then you can go beyond that. Yeah, sure, I created a bigger house, or I did create a promotion, or you can expand from there. But when you go to your vision and you imagine your vision 10, 20 years from now, first imagine, how am I going to feel? What's my experience of life there? Then go to, what are the experiences of life that I'm engaging, and where am I expressing these internal states through? And then at the fulfillment of it, sure, you might have a house or some cars, or you might buy a second property or advance your career, and all those things are great. Use your emotion and use your state, use your mind to align yourself with that right now as you move there. And so the way you're going to engage your practice is literally just using the tool of your imagination to align yourself with vision daily. And so for 20 minutes, you'll just sit just as you have, gently close the eyes, and then imagine yourself as though you were living 20 years from today. And first imagine and identify, how would I feel? I would be joyful, I would be expansive, I'd feel passionate, I'd feel love. And then go into the experiences, the things you'd be doing. And then sure, name some of the things that you might achieve, such as a promotion, a new house, a car, maybe you're going to move, something like this. And align yourself with your vision right now. And so as you stay focused on your vision, imagine it as though it was happening real time. If a part of your vision is going to work and being joyful, imagine yourself going through your workday real time, just like you would when you're daydreaming, and imagine yourself going through that workday, but in a joyful state. Imagine yourself taking the trip that you'd like to take, maybe on the beach, but imagine yourself walking on the beach, feel the air as it passes by you, smell the sea salt in the air, feel the warmth of the sun on you, and really get as vivid as you can to create the experience for yourself right now internally. And so what I call vision fulfilled is when we're in that space and we are mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually connected to our vision as an experience for ourselves right now. And if we simply do the work that is our responsibility and we align ourselves with our vision mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, we align our inner matrix with our vision and we live life day by day, vision will manifest. Not just the experience of life that we're looking for, that fulfillment, which is most important, but it'll also translate to the manifesting of those external outcomes that we're looking to fulfill and create as well. And most importantly, you're going to enjoy the journey. You're going to love life along the way, not just when you get there. You know, if I set a benchmark for myself as an example, and I say to myself, I choose to make $5,000 more a month than I'm making right now, or maybe $1 million a year, or some big thing like this, and I feel like it's going to take me a little while to get there, I don't want to suffer until I get there. Or maybe I'm not currently in a relationship, and one of the things that I aspire to is knowing a vibrant relationship with a significant other. I don't want to have to be in a place of deficit or suffering or contraction now as though I'm waiting for this person to show up and make it okay for me. I want to be able to show up in a vibrant, enthusiastic, loving, joyful place right now as I'm living my life. And then if that person shows up in a month or 2 years, it's okay because I'm already loving my life in a big way. I'm already fulfilled in my life. And now this is just going to be something to add to what's already great. And so we want to train ourselves so that we develop our inner matrix in such a way that we're focusing our mind, emotions, body, and that connection to spirit and each other in such a way I'm aligned with my vision right now. I'm experiencing my vision right now, even though all of it maybe hasn't manifested practically yet. And so your 20-minute practice is going to be creating your vision, because as soon as your vision is thought about, it exists. Everything that exists in the world today started out as just a thought in someone's mind, and then they fueled it with emotion. If you think about the cell phone that's in your hand, the internet that we access every day, the trains, the planes that we fly in, there was a time when somebody thought about flying, and most people thought it was crazy, thought it was ridiculous because it hadn't been done before. But then that person invested in it emotionally and had the dream to fly like the birds they see in the sky. And now today, we know that as just part of our lifestyle. And so relate to your vision as real as soon as you think it, as soon as you feel it, as soon as you picture it, and as you activate it every day. Know that you've manifested it at that first level of bringing, we'll call it intangible energy, into form. And then it's just a matter of reinforcing it, staying connected to it, and moving in that direction until you experience the fulfillment of it. And don't be afraid of creating the wrong thing. There is no wrong thing. Think of this as developing the capacity simply to create. And then once you create something, you can create something else. You can create something else. You can create something else. You can completely reinvent yourself if you'd like to. But just know it all starts from the inside out. And so that's going to be your 20-minute practice. And then your daily check-in is going to just reinforce that. And you're just going to check in, every hour or every couple hours, and you're just going to tune in. How am I feeling emotionally? Where's my mind? How am I feeling in my body right now? Am I aligning with my vision right now? Yes or no? If you're not aligning with it, then simply do the four-sided breath, do the work from session 2 or session 1, session 3, and just realign yourself with your vision. And so once an hour, maybe every couple hours, just check in this moment. Is my inner matrix, my emotion, my mind, and my body, my spiritual self, intuition, aligned with my vision in this moment? Yes or no? If it's not aligned, just do your best to align yourself internally with the vision and then continue with your day. And know that as you create from the inside out, it's ultimately how everything comes to be anyway. And then you'll also ensure that when you do manifest your vision and you create the tangible outcomes that maybe you're setting out to fulfill on, you're going to be able to enjoy them when you get there. So thank you so much for taking this journey with me, going through your Inner Matrix group. Just a reminder to do your 20-minute meditation each day. Daily is important. Your daily check-in every hour or every couple of hours throughout your day, so you bring that experience of your meditation into your daily life. And remember to read chapters 8 and 9 before you meet next time with your Inner Matrix group. Thank you so much for being here, for taking this journey for yourself and for what it's going to mean for others as well. Much love to you, and we will look forward to connecting with you next week.